from AEW, and you're watching. This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude. I hope you're ready in the chat for some love tonight. Tonight, AEW Fyter Fest.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
American band.
Some bubbly? Look at this stuff.
A little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
WWE superstar Mike The Miz Mazanine hosts the wettest, wildest competition on television in USA's new series Cannonball, splashing down 1 week from Thursday, July 9th at 8/7 Central here on USA, followed by a new episode of That Fact.
Oh my God! Well, that was what an advertisement. I'm super down with the advertisement. So thank you, USA Network, trying to chime in on the TNT review show. You can appreciate USA Network and what they're doing there, right? I mean, you give them some love. Unbelievable. Fyter Fest is over. We did our predictions earlier tonight. Not everything was right, but one thing that I will raise high on a flag is that no belts changed hands tonight. And it was something that I thought might happen based on my picks, but I also thought, probably one of these titles might go, but it just didn't seem to make sense to me on any of them, so I went with that, and I'm actually surprised in a way, but hey, at least I got the picks right. The first match, I think, was the only one. I don't remember. Jake, we just did this earlier, like 7 hours ago, me and Jake.
I was struggling to think back, too.
I can't remember it either, but I know we both picked the first match wrong. We both picked Luchasaurus. We both picked MJF to win.
Yeah, we both had that decided, and then I thought the tag belts were going to change hands, which they didn't. So I did like the ending, though. Kenny Omega doesn't drink. I mean, he even had his tall glass of milk at the Stampede.
Yeah.
We know that about him. So he took the beer, he took a sip, but then he poured the rest out. So they're saying, hey, he doesn't drink. It was just a really, simple explanation, but they took it as an insult, and I thought that was great. What a way to amp up that fight.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, I guess.
I just thought it was creative, when you have continual storytelling. For weeks on end that Hangman, of course, he's going to take beer, but Omega doesn't drink. So what were they going to do?
Shut up, you filthy animal!
All right, I did not mean to play that. I didn't mean to play that sound clip. What's up, chat? How you guys doing? Dropping them likes already. It looks like we have. There's going to be a lot of interesting feedback tonight on this show. I feel like a lot of. I don't know. I just feel like this one's going to be a tough one. I feel like there's going to be some people out there that are like, this was awesome, like it was great or something, and then there's going to be people that are like, oh, it wasn't as good as I thought, and whatever. And then everybody's going to be like, what do you want? You're never happy, and people are never happy. I mean, this was not as good as I thought it was going to be. I'll tell you that right now. I thought maybe tonight, I thought I was going to give this an 8.5 out of 10 tonight. And
I don't want to sound like I'm down on it because I was entertained by tonight's show.
Yeah, it was
I'm
good.
with you there. I did expect a bit more from tonight, and I think one of the reasons was the very confusing ending that came about for the Cody match.
What was that, dude? The whole match wasn't right, and then the ending was just like, what?
So he lands in the choke, and Cody reverses it into a pinning predicament, but he passed out in the hold. That's the story they were trying to tell because it wasn't clear.
None of that was ever sold or clear to me ever. So whatever they were trying to convey, and maybe I got to watch it again.
Commentary was basically he went for the crossroads. It got reversed into the Uranagi choke. And gets him, starts choking the crap out of him. Immediately Cody rolls forward with the momentum to reverse it, into a pinfall. And he gets the 3 count, but apparently he went unconscious in the middle of that. So Hager thought he tapped out, or at least knew that he went limp, so he thought he won the match. He was like, Yep, that's it. I got this. Cody's unconscious. But really, he got the pinfall. But technically, if you look at it again as well, it looked like his right shoulder was up some too. So it was very sloppy and just not. It was a convoluted ending. It just wasn't scripted well, or at least not delivered properly.
Yeah, those are there's not like a lot. There's not a bunch of negatives. That's the good thing. I was entertained by AEW tonight. AEW Fyter Fest tonight was entertaining. We thought it would be. I was hoping for like a little bit more. To me, it was just a fun, entertaining little show. I don't know where I am with it. I was hoping for an 8 or an 8.5 or something like that to like be blown away. Maybe an 8 would have been nice to me. I don't think I'd give this an 8. I'd give it like a 6.5 or a 7 or something like that.
I could see myself giving it a 7. Some of the decisions they made tonight, I was a little questioned by, but
yeah,
I mean, I hate saying buried because that's not the right thing here for best friends, but it certainly doesn't look great that they have to take time out to hug to go ahead and get their asses kicked.
Well, they're idiots. I mean, that's the whole thing.
And that's what they're supposed to go for. It's like that aloof attitude all three of them share.
I've never believed that they were going to win because they just like But
they've been on such a severe win streak. It's what, 7 or 8 wins in a row, I believe, and they were really building them up to be something special. And I felt like the crowd was getting behind them as well. So for what they're going for, if really they want to just have FTR take on Page and Omega, then fine. But they turned into that. It felt like a 90-degree turn rather than a smooth transition.
I feel like Best Friends is that fun-loving team who doesn't win a lot, but they have. And eventually they will win something, and it will be exciting when they do because they're kind of always looked at as sort of underdogs, not 100% serious. But they're pretty good, and someday when they win something big, it will be like, wow, that won, the Best Friends won, but they don't need anything. So, like, that's why to me I was like, no, they're not going to win tonight. Who cares? Like, why would you put the belts on them? At this
just
point.
Takes them down quite a bit more.
I honestly don't care because I think they're kind of stupid anyway. But that's me.
See, I've enjoyed them more as time has went on, especially during the past few weeks when I felt like they actually had a chance to win the titles. Now it's just, if you're not all about the gimmick, then that's all you got going for you.
Yeah.
They're going to fall back down the rungs. We do have an answer, too, with
Moxley.
Obviously, Moxley not being able to be at tomorrow's taping for night 2.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to go ahead and do it at Fight for the Fallen.
The math never added up to us. It was always like...
we knew that they would have to either do it live that night for next week or not at all. So
yeah. There's no way. There's just 2 + 2 is an equal 6. So what are they going to do? They had
Taz was right though. Taz was great about what he said because he was justified in what he was saying. Even though there's a moral responsibility to you not bringing the virus around to people, still he went ahead and said, you've had 2 negative tests, and you just look like a bitch. You're a chicken shit.
He's using the virus. You're using the virus, bro.
And they even slung some dirt at WWE by saying, they don't run a sloppy shop. They test everybody. So,
WWE doesn't look good. WWE looks confusing, and it feels like they don't care. I mean, I'm honestly less concerned about that. I'm not like a lot of these other people that are like, oh my God, they need to. I don't care. You're in WWE. You're working for Vince McMahon. You know that he's willing to put your life on the line, and he don't care. And that's what you should know that. Working there, he'll put you on a zip line at the top of the building. You don't care. You know?
Exactly.
And they got Ric Flair walking around there. I mean, that's the craziest thing. Ric Flair has got to be like, if you were to name anybody in the company, who's the oldest guy who's probably the most in danger? I mean, the guy's survived like 4 hospital. He's been in what, like 2 comas in the last 3 years, Ric Flair, and he survived it.
Yeah, at least.
And he's walking around fucking Raw like, woo, woo. Like, you're in the place where everybody's has been infected. But yeah, maybe he's impervious to this thing. I don't know. But when somebody dies, like they will face that backlash. I'm less about that. I just want to review the shows. I don't, and the rumors about what Kevin Dunn said or didn't say, nobody knows. So those rumors are stupid anyway to me. But I mean, probably they don't. I don't know, man. I feel like they care more than we think they do, but I feel like they also. I think they're reacting to AEW originally too, because originally, remember, WWE didn't have people there. WWE had nobody at ringside.
Yeah, they were just, empty arena shows.
Then they reacted to AEW, and they were like, let's put people there. And we were giving them shit about it. So first we give them shit.
Because they still weren't doing it in a natural way. They had everyone, acting like robots instead of being themselves. Instead of saying, go out there and be a fan, they were telling them, cheer for these guys and boo for these guys.
What I mean is, we were giving them crap that, like, hey, why can't they put people outside? Like, look, NXT is doing it, or AEW is doing it. Why can't WWE do it? And we gave them crap about that. Like, why don't they do this? So, like, I mean, what are we going to do? Which one is it? We're going to give them
it's simple.
crap.
You have the ability to test people, then you can have them in the audience like AEW does.
You're right.
It's that simple. Test them. Negative. Guess what? You're in the crowd. And AEW also says if you want to wear a mask in attendance, you can. I'm curious if WWE, I asked the chat, did they utilize masks tonight or not in the crowd? Because I didn't see any of the Great American Bash.
I didn't see masks. I did see a couple matches. I saw the one guy, Dexter, looked like Stone Cold to me. I was like, wow, that guy looks like Stone Cold Steve Austin, like back in the early days. And then Sasha, I watched her opening, so I didn't really see it. I just saw some little moments, and I thought, okay, but I didn't see masks. I'm not sure if there was. Someone else would have to tell us. I just don't 100%. I don't know, man. But I thought I'm gonna have to watch NXT. I'm gonna have to watch the Great American Bash. I like the ropes. I like the look of the Great American Bash. It looked pretty good, but I didn't see it enough, so I don't really know. But as far as Fyter Fest goes, the opening match.
The opening promo
match
was amazing. MJF saying that he's got a sense of deja vu. And we complain about that with WWE when we see the matches 5, 6, 7 times in a row about it getting stale. They've only faced each other, once before as each set individually. And he's saying, oh, I have deja vu. Haven't I beaten you already? Luchasaurus is green and it's not just his tongue. And we got Jungle Jabroni over here. He should be back at home counting daddy's money rather than taking another loss to me, and just all of this stuff. I gave you your best match on a silver platter. MJF is always brilliant, and he delivered here like no other. So great way to start off this feud. And Jurassic Express, they react properly, even as faces. Yeah. They don't wait for their pyro. They just booked ass to the ring and got right in the faces of MJF and Wardlow. That's the kind of character development and reactionary actions I want to see. Make it believable. You're pissed off. They just said some nasty stuff about you. You're not going to go and pose to the crowd and make sure you get your moveset in as you walk to the ring. No, you're going to be pissed. You're going to storm to the ring. Who cares about pyro at that point? You're on a mission. So I like that mindset.
I hope we get some more promos from them too in the back. I feel like we haven't seen a lot of their personalities in the back much recently. But
yeah, we haven't seen a ton. So and this is why I enjoyed it personally, because that was refreshing.
MJF coming out looking like Rick the Model Martel. He tried to use the ring at one point. I don't. So like I guess are Wardlow and MJF already breaking up? Like this is already going to be a breakup thing, because that's the story they're going with. Why would you have MJF lose? I guess he blames it on Wardlow and.
Well, he said to Wardlow, "Can't you do anything right?" Yeah. As he went to go and use the ring, he almost punched Wardlow in the face, and that's when he yelled at Wardlow, "Can't you do anything right?" So I thought that was interesting storytelling, because now we're probably going to see these two have a feud and split apart as well.
They even brought it up, yes. So I'm like, oh my god, they're going to break these guys. I thought they would do well, like with him and Wardlow, but I don't know why they would already break them up. And I don't agree with. I get making the faces win the first match and having a good time, at the beginning or whatever. But I would have thought, after all the momentum MJF has, I would have thought that, I guess if you're breaking them up, then this makes sense. But if I don't agree with breaking them up yet, so I would have had MJF pin Jungle Boy, with a shot to the eye, or with the ring right in the eye. Maybe Jungle Boy grabs his eye then. Wardlow hits him in the head with a boot. They win the match that way, and I don't know. That was me. But MJF, to me, honestly, like I was gonna say this during our predictions video, which hopefully all you guys saw our predictions video. If you guys didn't, it went up a couple hours ago, so go back and watch it later. we actually had some interesting things, I think, in there that were besides the Fyter Fest stuff. So,
Yeah.
But MJF is basically the $1 Million Man. So, as far as I'm concerned, MJF is the $1 Million Man. So, the $1 Million Man would lose a lot of matches. He would win, and he would get one over and be this smart guy, and, you know, back in the day. But he would eventually, you know, he would lose a lot, especially at, like, pay-per-views or in the big match.
Yeah, anytime it came down to where it mattered, it felt like.
Right, like 1 out of 3 times or like 2 out of 5 times $1 Million Man would win by some kind of chicanery or whatever, and then whatever it is. But like 3 out of 5 or so, he would lose. And so MJF to me is the $1 Million Man. Now, Rick the Model Martel lost more, I think, than $1 Million Man. I was saying that he dressed like Rick Model Martel tonight.
Yeah.
So he's not like Rick the Model Martel, just some generic heel who's got a gimmick. You know, he's more than that. He's very, he's got that character. And that's why I'm saying it's not a bad thing. To me, it's not a bad thing. $1 Million Man had such a great, you know, character and what he did such a good job. I really see MJF that way. I think that $1 Million Man spoke so well back then, but, you know, a lot of guys spoke pretty decent back then. I think MJF right now is got to be one of, if not the best talker in AEW. So
hands down, yeah, he's so good. I mean, even tonight, there's a ratings war. You know, he gets into. That's why I'm here. That's why this match is happening. And the only way you win is with big stars like MJF on the front lines.
Yeah, that's kind of funny that they're bringing that up. Although, you know, one would also say, don't mention them because they'll turn the channel. Someone will say at that point, like, oh, yeah, that's right, they are on. Because when he said that, I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. And I pulled out my phone and I put Great American Bash on my phone.
Yeah,
but I forgot. Yeah, it works against you. I say don't bring up the enemy at all. I say don't. But, I mean, maybe do. You know, I don't know. But to me, when you do that, sometimes it makes you think, oh, yeah, what is going on over there? And so, to me, I think it's a mistake. I think it's just focus on this show tonight. Even if you want to say we got the best thing going like here in AEW, that's fine too. But when you say that we're in a ratings war, I went, oh yeah. And I put on the other show on my phone. I was like, I got to check that out too and keep an eye on it. And I did. And I didn't turn the channel off or anything. But who knows? Some other people might have. So
it's possible.
Never.
So that's the risk.
Don't do that.
Fourth wall breaks.
Mm-hmm. I say don't do it.
But I really enjoyed this match. The pacing was really, you know, solid. The internal structural time was smooth, so it felt very quick, but it never felt like they were rushing. It just felt like it had a you know, ever-evolving thread to it. So I really enjoyed it. There was always something going on.
Yeah,
not any downtime at all. So
the match was all right. I didn't have a big. I didn't care that much. It just felt like a regular Wednesday night match. To me,
yeah, it didn't have any huge implications or anything, but it was a really solid opening. I really like this opening match.
Yeah, solid opening. The women were up second, right?
Yes, the women were up next.
We
did see a preview for the All Elite Wrestling Puppy Battle Royal.
What?
Not what I think about puppies when I think of wrestling, but
Puppy Battle Royal.
Yeah, next week they had some small dogs in the miniature AEW ring. And they said, what? Next week, All Elite Wrestling Puppy Battle Royal. It was a commercial right before they came back
is that a joke?
Women's match. I don't know. I don't think so. It looks like they're having their own version of the Puppy Bowl.
Oh, my God. Only if Jericho calls it, it might be funny. Jericho was demonstrative tonight on the mic. He was like, this honestly tonight could have been called AEW Fyter Fest Chris Jericho Stars. Like, he really was, like, maybe too much. Like, I mean, I was fine with it because, but he was, like, he was doing exactly what I've been saying that we need a heel to do, but he's he was like on crack or something. He was
a bit too much at times.
Yeah, he was
still enjoyable and still funny, but there were a few times where I was like, all right, this is a bit much.
Like JR, you wouldn't even know he was there. But I think they kind of need that. I think JR and them, they're a little sleepy. And I think Jericho is just, But if he toned it back a little bit, just slightly back a little bit, I think he'd be good. But then there was a lot of times where he was so spastic it was good. He was throwing out lots of like Bobby Heenan type stuff, which is what I've always been clamoring for. I like that even when they said something and something else happened, then they reacted that way. So there was a lot of good stuff. So the commentary tonight was really good for AEW. It was
good. And I liked what they did with Orange Cassidy coming out there, not saying a word, still wearing the shirt that's covered in blood.
Just trolling him. Like, that was wicked
just
funny.
saying nothing. That was perfect. That fits his character, that aloof, no fucks given attitude. And really quick to flash back, Paul 3 in the chat said, they did it because Vince notoriously hates the Puppy Bowl. JR has told the story a few times on his podcast.
Well,
so if that's the case,
they're obsessed with Vince, bro.
They really seem that way with WWE in general. I mean, Cody even had the shirt tonight with the Great American Bash font that said, the Great American Nightmare or whatever it is that he had.
What are they doing? Like,
that was my complaint back in the beginning when he hit the sledgehammer against the throne chair. I didn't even care for that, and people were like, "Oh, you're crazy. That's great." I'm like, just do your own thing. You don't have to.
That I kind of thought was cool because they were sort of like sending a message in a way for early on. But now it's just become ridiculous.
Well, now it's a constant, too. Every week they have to, that's why.
It's literally like
MJF saying there's a ratings war. I wasn't crazy about. I wouldn't have done it, like you said, because it brings up people to change the channel. But I didn't mind it because it was more indirect. It's just saying, you could say that about anything. But bringing up, certain things as they did tonight, that was, unnecessary.
They're trolling Vince, but Vince will never see it. Like, he'll probably never know about it. That's the thing, is like he'll probably never see it. It's like when people fucking attack me still to this day and troll me and like attack me. It's like, what do you do? I don't say anything. I don't care. Like, what are you doing? If anything, I see people say like, wow, this guy's petty, man. I can't believe that he still talks about you like this. You don't even bring him up. And I'm like, I don't know. And he goes, yeah, I thought the guy was cool, a good guy, but he really is a weirdo. And then it's like, all right. It's like you're turning your own people on you. It's like, dude, just fucking move on and do your own thing. What is AEW bringing up WWE so much for? I mean, it is entertaining to the fans, though. So if that's the reason, if the point is that the fans will get a kick out of this because they'll understand the reference of what we're doing, then I guess that's all right. But it's like,
I think that's what they're going for, because that's what their core audience fans enjoys. That's why, everybody watching Being the Elite, the 500,000 or so people that watches that regularly, they like those little inside jokes, those fourth wall breaks, because that's what you get with that mostly too. They like those little wink and nods. So I think they do it strictly for that audience. And yeah, like the one and only Gorilla Strong just said, Taz saying they don't run a shit ship or something like that. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier, talking about how they actually test and they still have to go against NXT or AEW, bring up the Wednesday Night Wars. So
yeah,
it is interesting, but I don't know. They just always seem petty and focused on what Vince is doing rather than worrying about their own stuff.
Yeah, they really need to do that, because I'll tell you what, it was all right. I thought the women's match was the best match on the card tonight. I thought Sheeta and Ford was the best thing I saw. Everything else I'd seen a million times, and I thought, okay, whatever. Like, I honestly, when Ford ducked that drop kick with that Matrix move, I thought that was fucking awesome. I was like, wow, that was the coolest thing I've seen in a while, dude.
Soundwave's right too to take that was a great moment. I'll give you that much. And too many thoughts in my head at this point, but Soundwave's right. He said, you think Vince did the Great American Bash, his revival of it this week, because there was Fyter Fest. That's a classic Vince move, knowing that'll get under Cody's skin. That's right. That's why he does those certain things. It's not just taking advantage of, because they could have called it, Fun in the Sun Summer. It doesn't have to be Great American Bash, but they did that. I can't help but feel like out of spite.
I agree. Stone Roses makes a good point. Stone, I've said it a million times. None of the wrestling companies are growing a new audience, so it doesn't matter. You're right.
That's their biggest problem right now.
Nobody.
They're focused on their YouTube audience. They're not worried about outsiders and general fans.
Yeah, like even me, my show, I'm concerned a little bit. I have all you guys here, but every month I lose patrons at the beginning of the month, and we got to grow them back and make sure people come back and stuff. And the views have gone down all about wrestling. So I need to start worrying about growing more new audience right now. Right now. I'm in danger. I got to make sure I grow audience, or guess what? I'm losing my house. I'm losing fucking what I'm doing here. So, and it's not, this week has been, the last week was great, but this beginning of this week, this has been bad. Numbers are fucked. And last Fyter Fest, we had 1,000 people watching our review, or 1,500 or something like that, 1,700. Right now we got 569. Now that's partly because the epidemic, or whatever, the pandemic has killed a lot of interest in wrestling and people are down. But it's also, competition is up. There's more wrestling people than ever. There's more anything than anything going on everywhere. And so, like, dude, I mean, I need to find ways to grow the audience more than I am right now. I'm growing some. I get about 80 subs a month. That's crazy. 80 to 200 subs a month, not even. That's crazy. Back in the day, I used to get thousands of subs a month. So we need to grow here. I need to find a way to bring in new audience here. And that's the same thing for WWE and AEW. Right now, they're not getting new audience. They're recycling the same people still bouncing around. And until somebody transcends the wrestling business right now, we're not going to bring in new wrestling fans, because most people outside of wrestling tune in and they go, this is gay. That's like, everyone says that. Everyone says that. It's the first thing they say. Like, this sucks. Like, oh, this is lame. You watch that? That's stupid. Like, yeah, dude, I'm telling you, though, it's good. Come check it out. And then they check it out, and they go, this sucks. Like, this is stupid.
What do you have me watch this for? I thought wrestling was dead.
Remember Troy? Troy tuned into WWE a bunch of times, and he was like, dude, I don't know how you watch that. He actually tuned into AEW, though, and he said he liked it. He was like, this stuff seems way better than the stuff in WWE. And then he kept watching it a little bit, but I think he stopped watching, too. So, like, how are you going to get these people that don't watch to start watching again? And
Paulie's right. The original AEW fan base is made up of being the elite Young Buck fans, and they're not casting a wider net. They're only bringing in their friends and people that they associate with directly. I feel like, that's pretty much how it's been.
Yeah.
And, Jericho was saying, I don't get my friends hired. If that was the case, they all, everybody would have been working for us. And when we started last October, well, that's close enough. I mean, he's like, Dr. Luther would have been there right away. So I don't get all my friends in. Well, you got him in 4 months later, and he's done nothing, but he gets a paycheck.
Yeah, Dr. Luther, Dr. Loser. I call him Dr. Loser. He showed up to he showed up to
see him standing on the outside. That's it. He's in the audience.
He got beat up by 2 women, and that's it. You brought in a guy to get beat up by 2 women. The first 2 things Dr. Loser ever did was lose to 2 women. I mean, it's the dumbest thing. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if that was Brandy or what the hell anyone was thinking with that. And still to this day, I think, like, that was the weirdest thing ever.
When I was a kid, I used to shove quarters up my asses when I was a kid.
Shit.
Oh, here we go.
It's Tommy time. Wait a minute.
I was full of change, definitely.
Wait a minute. Did you just say that when you were a kid, you used to shove quarters up your ass?
Yes, and I would poop them out as a kid.
I put the quarters in me. My name is Tommy NC. I put the quarters in me. I put the quarters in me. I put quarters in me. My name is Tommy NC. Put the fucking quarters in me.
When I was a kid, I used to shove quarters up my asses when I was a kid.
Solid night but no title changes, which is disappointing, but it was expected. Thought the best match tonight was really between MJF and Wardlow versus Jurassic Express, or the women's match. I fucking died when Trent's mom rolled in the soccer mom van. 7/10.
That was kind of funny, Soundwave 92. Thanks for the 25-25. 7 out of 10. I'd probably be there with you on that tonight. 7 out of 10, maybe 6.5 for me. I'm a little down. But the women's match was my favorite. I'll tell you that. It was the most unique.
That was mine, too. It was just the most likable match, I feel. These two went out there, with a set damn mission in mind. They were going to tear the house down, audience or not, and they went for it.
Did they really have that mindset?
I feel they did. I was thoroughly entertained with this match from start to finish, and I was not hesitant with Penelope Ford, but there's been some times where she's exemplary and other times where it's kind of a bit of a miss. I was happy right away that, Kip got kicked the hell out of there. It looked like dipshit, Trailbound said. That was funny, Dip Kip. And as soon as, he was gone, I'm like, all right, we got a fair fight. The numbers game is out of there, so we're going to get something memorable from these two. And there was one point where Sheeta goes for the Falcon Arrow, and she hits it, looks perfect. And Ford ends up reversing the pinfall and gets her own near fall. And I was like, damn, it just looked really sleek and clean. That was one of the standout moments for me.
I thought they just had they were like having good chemistry, and then all of a sudden, and yeah, I'm not big on Ford either. So like, I kind of like I was like, she's not gonna. This match is not gonna be good. Maybe I liked it because how it actually went well, and then basically I was at the point with the match where I was like, man, this is pretty entertaining for these women. This is the best women's match I've seen in AEW. I feel like, and then
it really stood out. And then Kip Sabian tries to come back out, and Sheeta gets him away with the kendo stick. So I'm like, all right, that's good. And now this is when Ford is able to get the cutter, and we get another near fall. Like, it just kept building after that point too.
It's just too bad that the commercial break happened in their match. I thought that was the match where they didn't need one.
Yeah, thankfully it was early on, and they kind of just had a chin lock rest hold going on in the meantime for the commercial. So
Happy Canada Day, by the way, everybody. We said it in our Fyter Fest preview or whatever. But
Happy Canada Day.
Yeah, on Happy Canada Day we had the Great American Bash.
Yeah, that kills me.
They should have called it the Great American Canadian Bash, just so we could have had some love to Canada. Soundwave with the $25 donation. Soundwave, thanks, man. I'm pretty much in agreement with you. I think it was either the first match or the second that was the best, but I am going to pick the women's. But
yeah, I think the women's shines a bit brighter, but both were really good. And then from there, I really didn't care for this Cody match. I wanted to like it.
What the hell was that?
They never really got going. It felt like they were always in the wrong gear. Like, they just didn't mesh well, which was very surprising because I feel like these two would have worked well together.
I really thought it was. I think in the predictions I said I thought the first beginning of it would be grappling, and the second would be a brawl, and then the third part was going to be a wrestling match. And so I thought it was going to be an 18-minute match. I thought it was going to have. I thought it was probably, if I was going to pick a match that I thought was going to be the best match of the night, I was going to pick that one.
Yeah, I agreed with you. I thought that was going to be match of the night, or I thought it would be about 20 minutes because we said with the 5 matches in 2 hours it'd be about 20 minutes long, but instead we got 14:59 on the clock.
Best Friends or Omega would have been my second choice, and just none of that happened. Like, well,
you also thought that if Cody, you said it might be possible that if he's not the main event of the night, then he might lose the title,
right? And
once he came out third match, as I had heard, I was like, oh, this seems to be the plan, and I'm glad he didn't lose the title.
Me too, but what an ugly ending. Just
especially if he passed out and they got the pinfall and they gave up the title, that would have been a real mess. So
I would say that is the worst match of Cody's career outside of AEW, outside of WWE that I've ever seen. Like, that would be. I've seen Cody wrestle at Chaotic Wrestling. I've seen him wrestle at a couple other independents. I've seen a couple other independent matches. I've seen all the stuff with AEW and obviously with the Bullet Club stuff and everything else. That had to be the worst match Cody Rhodes has ever had outside of WWE.
Yeah, and Cody doesn't look great. Hager certainly doesn't look like a all-out MMA athlete coming out of this. Yeah. Neither man looks like a star. Just the opposite of what you want to happen.
Right.
Especially when the women's roster has been, as so many have said, the drizzling shits. And then you go ahead and you get Cody giving these top-notch matches time after time, and it was the opposite tonight. So
and the women, hey man, we got to shout out to the women. We've been crapping on the AEW women since like the day it launched, and tonight, hats off, Sheeta and Penelope Ford had arguably the best match of the night. So, absolutely got to give them credit. I mean, really, those women, they had the most unique match. All the men had a generic flippy flop tag match or just a confusing smosh. And the women, to me, I'm going to watch that match again later tonight, I think. So,
yeah, I can see going back and watching it again.
Yeah. I could see it too.
Then we led into Private Party versus Pride and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. Again, I said on the pre-show, when we broke down the matches, I didn't really have much of an interest in this match. I don't really care much for Private Party. The only thing that I was hoping to see was something interesting from Matt Hardy, but he just played the usual helpful, third-party manager role. So nothing inventive from him. We jokingly said how it'd be hilarious if he turned heel on Private Party, but that's just one of his personas is heel. The other two were still face. I think they could have gotten a lot of mileage out of that.
Someone just said in the chat that Jake Hager sucks, so you can't fault Cody. I disagree, because the match I had planned out in my head, which was grappling to start, brawl to middle, and then finish up with wrestling and intensity, and maybe someone's bloody, and then there's an ending 18-minute match. The match I drew up in my head would have been awesome with Jake Hager, and I'm not a fan of Jake Hager, really. I agree. When he was Jack Swagger, I always thought the guy was boring too. Whatever. But I think he's been somewhat entertaining in this chat, in the show tonight. So to the guy who said that in the chat, I think you could have had a match that was good with him. I just don't. Yeah, this match was never designed. What they did, nobody would be good in that match that they had. That was dumb. It was just dumb. And JD is not the top dog. Solomonster is, so nice try.
But I was impressed with the ending. Every time they pull off Gin and Juice and they land that, it's just such a badass tag team maneuver for a finisher. I really enjoy that, head scissor to cutter type move. Mm-hmm. It looks great. So I was surprised they won, though.
Yeah, I guess I'm not, but
Well, yeah,
this smells like my vagina.
All right, Drew. You didn't watch AEW. Be quiet, Drew. All right.
This smells like my vagina.
All right. Everybody heard Drew admit what he has down there. Tonight on Patreon, we did ask you guys on Patreon what you thought. And if you guys haven't checked out the Patreon, make sure you guys double check your Patreon stuff, because a lot of people got canceled by their cards and all that kind of crap right now. So make sure you guys jump on Patreon and get it fixed. About 60 of you, we lost 60 of you on Patreon, so I'm assuming at least most of those people, it's a mistake. Obviously, it's the first of the month. All the auto charges went through there. We have comments, though, from our patrons, so I want to say shout out to the people that keep us alive and keep my show going, and with the donations live or with the Patreon stuff. So we're going to go through these. If you guys want to donate tonight, the link is in the description below. Streamlabs, Twitch alerts, whichever way you want to do it. Or you can super chat if you want to super chat as well. Feel free to do whatever you want.
Kai Karzer says that, Hager's just a Brock knockoff. And I could see why some people
he's a mid-card Brock.
Yeah, a lot of people don't care for the MMA style invasion that's come into wrestling recently. They're pretty tired of it. So
yeah, it just reminds me of how MMA kicks ass and the wrestlers kind of stupid. So stop doing it. But no, I think Jake Hager's been mildly entertaining in AEW, but that match tonight, I don't understand that at all. He's better than that. He just is. I don't like him either, but he's better than that.
Who did he fight last time? Moxley, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was much better. It wasn't great, but it was better than this.
Yeah. What I drew up in my head would have been a lot better, because I'm Joe Cronin and I'm sitting in a basement in my house. Jay Swiss says, I don't know what that is. Heavy Steps says, Chris Jericho on commentary, am I having strokes? Elevates AEW. Absolutely it does. Chris Jericho made this way better tonight than it would have been. Lorenzo says, Cage can make alternate version of FTW World Championship. It'd be fitting since he was with Taz. You can have the slow build to the next pay-per-view. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. He could kind of do that. I always thought that was stupid, but whatever. That's just me. Even back in ECW. Maybe it's because my best friend marked out for it so much and he was annoying to me. Jamie Morgan says NXT is putting me to sleep tonight. Wow, really? Wow. I'm going to watch it later, but wow. Great American Bash, not good. But you guys got to tell me how it goes then in the chat if you did see both. Kyle M. Smith, Ford V said, and its moments. What? Ford said had its moment. Okay. Fyter Fest, maybe? I don't know. It just felt like they were confident in each other when it came to, maybe Ford and Cheetah, when it came to close-up strikes. AEW's subtle shots at WWE have been hilarious, though I haven't been a fan of them in the past. So Kyle now likes the shots at WWE, but didn't like them in the past. Heavy Step says we don't run sloppy shop. Tony from Revere, my buddy from over in Revere. Wrestling is down as a whole, but thank God for AEW Wrestling. They at least get it. They have fun. They aren't robotic, and they have a fresh alternative. Soon to be the standard, soon as we know they are the future. Well, hopefully they still have to, again, they still got to create new fans. They haven't been able to do that yet. They're in a battle for what? 1, 2, 3. They're in a battle for third place. First and second place goes to SmackDown and Raw. Despite SmackDown and Raw sucking, third place is NXT or AEW. That's just a fact, ratings-wise. So they're battling for third place right now.
Yeah, regardless.
That's not the best thing. But they are doing well, and I like it. And NXT and AEW I always feel gave me an honest effort and gave me above a 5 out of 10. But WWE, Raw, and SmackDown, they leave me disgusted. So, oh shit, look out. Steve Carell's here. Oh, good God. Mm-hmm.
WWE will be great again one day. But right now it's AU for life. Cronin and DeMarco rules. #niggas for Trump.
Wow. Tree Love is a Trump supporter. Wow. Okay, man. Tree Love 937. Thanks for the $10, man. What's up? Well, it's the big slow. What else did you see tonight, Jake, that made you wet?
I'm trying to think through. We covered everything up till there, and then Trent's mom dropped him off in a minivan. That was funny. And they had their entrance. Both teams come out, the tag champs. I like this match. Like I said, it wasn't the best the tag team champions had, but I did enjoy the after of what happened. So I do like that, FTR comes down, they offers him a beer, and obviously Hangman's going nuts for any type of broski, and then Omega pours his out, which brings out the Young Bucks to play peacekeeper. So that was more dramatic than probably anything we had in the match itself. And I know that they're building wisely towards night 2 of Fyter Fest next week, obviously, because the Young Bucks have to team with FTR, who are being booked as faces, but really you can tell are heels.
Uh-huh.
So I'm curious to see where they go with that next week. Do we see FTR attack the Young Bucks and cost them the match? Or do they stay in line, win the match, then attack the Young Bucks? Or do they not attack them at all? So even though they keep calling them out and calling them, lesser tag teams. I'm curious to see what happens with that. So at least there's some intrigue to tune into next week specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I like the continuation, I guess, of it. So it
kept us, reminded that, also you're going to see Jericho take on Orange Cassidy. So you make sure you tune in for that. At least now I have a reason next week to be like, this is what I'm looking forward to.
And they're also doing kind of what we said would happen if Moxley couldn't wrestle, all right, well, you have next week's episode, and then the week after you have the big match previewed. But I didn't know there was a fight.
Especially with a free pay-per-view.
I didn't know Fight for the Fallen was happening, though. I didn't even know.
I didn't know that was the 15th either. I hadn't heard of that until they said it tonight. So yeah, I don't think that was announced beforehand.
If it was, I bet they did it. We've missed other things before, but I just didn't know.
We have, but with me researching the news like crazy today, I felt like I would have seen it. I could be way off, but
yeah. I don't know. Let me just put the phone
It just felt
in.
So sudden. It really does, And what are we going to have soon enough where they have to name every Dynamite show something different to build up the ratings?
I wonder what that's a great question. What are the ratings going to be tonight? What the hell are the ratings going to be? That's a really good question.
Yeah, hopefully both went back up over, 800,000, but I doubt it. I could see NXT pulling out another lead.
It'd be really nice if the ratings went up to like, I don't know, like 900,000. If somebody hit 900 or 1 million, that would be amazing. That would be really cool. That'd be
great for them.
That'd be really good news for NXT, for AEW, for whatever. If they could get the ratings to jump up to that level.
What else we got? Oh,
some bubbly.
A little bit of the bubbly.
In.
That's it. Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly. That's it.
Fake DeMarco and Crybaby Cronin. I know you'll be talking about me, bro. To your viewers, come hang out with the big leagues. Live at #FromNi206. Professionalism that supports all. Stop being a retard drunk every night and fix you.
Yeah, why don't you go bash some women and call black people the N-word again? Shut up. Why don't you talk about raping women and fucking obsessing over women raping again? You piece of shit.
I know what your panties smell like.
We have a new member of the JCS army.
Oh, John Steller has become a member. Yo, John Steller in the chat. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, John Steller, for becoming a member.
Dwelsh is convinced he saw Tessa in the crowd. I didn't. But I think they would try to avoid letting her be seen in the crowd, no?
What?
Dwelsh in the chat says that he swears he saw Tessa Blanchard in the crowd. I think that they would have either acknowledged her being there.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
I did not
heard
see
that.
Did you see
I didn't see that
Monday
either.
Night War tonight? War was great, especially when Roman Reigns went crazy and pulled out his penis. I like Roman Reigns' penis. My name is Squire Fat.
AU has 65 real fans and 40 AU talent hot babes in bikinis all night. Oh yeah, Sasha Banks is so hot, man, I would never mind. #niggas for Trump.
I gotta tell you, man.
Oh, never mind.
I gotta tell you, Travis, thanks for the donation, man. He really wants to get it over that he's voting for Trump as a black man. Travis, thanks, man. Hey, man, you go get him. I'm gonna vote for my ass. I think I'm probably not gonna vote again.
I'm gonna write you in.
You're gonna write
That's
me
my
in?
goal. Yeah.
Yeah, write me in.
For you.
Vote me. Write Joe Cronin in the ballot.
That's a better vote than wasting it elsewhere.
That'd be great. What did he say? Oh God, what was the other thing he said? Oh, I know what it was. Yeah, how about the swimsuit chicks? Oh my God, dude, they were hot as hell. I was like, what in the world, dude? There's like nobody here but this hot chick on a blanket or whatever.
Yeah, one on a tube or a raft. The other one off to the side because they had them on the what was it last time? The life pillars there. What do you call it? My brain is farting.
I will tell you this, man. I will tell you this, man.
You can see the hamster dying in my head as I try and speak. But
what they are doing, what Jericho is going to be doing, is getting all those women's numbers, and they're going to be on the next cruise of Jericho.
Oh, absolutely. I'm telling you. That's what I was going for.
Yeah, they're going to be on the cruise. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. But imagine being the female, just, you're getting paid because you're hot. How great is, that life? I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Go out there in a bikini. We're going to give you a lot of money.
I wish I looked
got
good.
it. I'd do it now. Fuck.
Yeah. Can I just sip on, I'll sip a tequila.
Tony Khan called me and said, you got to be in a bikini all night, but we're going to put you on AEW TV and pay you a lot.
Right.
Sign me up. No one's going to tune in, but sign me up.
Oh, man. What else? Did we miss anything else? I mean, about the show?
That is it. That is the show in a nutshell. I could see giving it a 6.5 or a 7, anywhere in that range. I was a bit disappointed with the main events match. I was hoping they didn't make Best Friends look as, I don't want to say buried, but less than, because the way it ended, I mean, it was just so finite. I mean, that was really it. So Trent is trying, but after they go for they hug each other and that's it. They get taken out of the ring. Trent goes, gets dead-eyed. He gets the buckshot lariat, and that puts him away. And it's like, oh, that's just such a definitive ending.
Kind of missed with the dead eye there.
The first time.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And then he got nailed.
Yeah, the first time. Then he nailed it, and then he hit him with the buckshot after the near fall.
Yo, 606, what's up?
Yes, sir. Joe Cronin, what's up, man? I do agree. I would actually give the show a 7.9 myself, but
7.9.
I think Cody is going heel. I think we're starting to see Cody go for a heel turn.
All right, get the fuck out of here. I'm hanging up on that guy. 7.9. The fuck, dude? No, get the hell out of here.
7.625.
7.9, and Cody's going heel. No, I'm hanging up on you. Give me a break. Come, what? Dude, go if you have mayonnaise in your fridge, go eat the entire tub of mayonnaise, and then throw up whatever stupidness is inside of you right now on your front lawn. Like,
Just shed it all.
I'm gonna give the show a 7.9, and Cody is going heel. What? I mean, one of those things was dumb, but the combination of those, I'm hanging up on you. He might have had something good to say after that. I don't know, but my God, I'm gonna rip my eyeballs out and feed him to somebody. Like, what was that? What? I'm sorry. I can't deal with that. What?
I whooped Santa Claus's ass. I stunned Santa Claus's ass. I stunned Santa Claus's ass. Oh well, yeah.
Ozark Season 4 14 episodes confirmed, oh yeah. Ruby
Oh
sit
yeah.
on my face, #niggas for Trump.
Tree Love 937. What up, Trey Love? Boom, doom, doom, doom. Stone Cold with a stunner on Santa Claus. Trey Love, thank you, man. I haven't watched Ozark yet. I'm not really sure, but I'm sure it's really good. I'm not surprised it's confirmed again because
I'm only through the first season.
yeah, I haven't watched any of it, but I know that
it's good.
I know that people love that show.
Got a Breaking Bad feel to it.
Yeah, I don't think it's hitting that level with everybody, but I mean the quality sounds like it's that good. People have everybody. I speak to people, they're like, dude, Ozark, like you gotta watch Ozark, man. You gotta watch Ozark, man, please.
I can't wait for The Boys season 2. That
I don't know what that is. The
Boys. It's what if superheroes were real, and how they're influenced by corporate conglomerates and owned by companies, and it's I'm doing a terrible job at explaining it, but it's very, very interesting and funny and very enjoyable. Violent is all hell too. So basically, you have superheroes in real life, and what about the people that die that are collateral damage? And you have people standing up against the superheroes that are tired of being, in their way. So it's a great show.
So
you would love it.
Like the Superman effect from the movie where he just destroyed everything.
Yeah, exactly. And having to clean up the collateral damage. So it's very poignant, but really, really well done. Super gory, great effects. Yeah. Carl Urban's in it, and I love him as an actor. So
yeah, Carl Urban's great. I want that. I want them to.
He plays like the perfect role for him in this show.
I would love the Judge Dredd TV show on Netflix or something, because they never followed up after that first movie, and I thought he did great, and I wanted to.
Yeah, the slow-mo effect was awesome for that. Yeah. The way they utilized certain shots and digital effects. I really like that Judge Dredd. And I love the original too with Stallone.
Yeah, it's all
the law.
I love the goofiness of the original 90s one. Everything in the 90s is always good, even if it's so ridiculously goofy.
Oh, absolutely.
But yeah, let me go. More donations are coming in. What do you guys think? AEW Fyter Fest tonight or NXT Great American Bash? Let us know. We watched Fyter Fest. We did not see Great American Bash for the most part. So let us know how it went. I'm very curious about the main event with Sasha, but I haven't seen it. Shit bum!
Cho, I know this is a bleak and dark thing to suggest, but I am actually curious if this has ever crossed your mind. At what point, if wrestling keeps dropping, do you ever consider abandoning wrestling content on your channel? Maybe even just till COVID ends.
Love you, bro. What's up? Well, I already do other stuff on my other channel, so it's I'm already doing it. I already do.
Yeah, I feel like that satiates your thirst for covering other things, because if you were just strictly all wrestling, there was no monetize this, throwdown, all the podcasts that you have, I think you would have hung yourself a while ago.
Yeah, I have other channels, so I just do that.
I think that keeps you going. But as far as just stopping wrestling entirely right now, I don't think that'd be beneficial at all, financially and mental health either, because, I mean, you still enjoy wrestling. There's still something we get out of it. That's why we cover it.
Right.
Give it a hell yeah!
Loved Fyter Fest. The women's match was the best match of the night. Jericho is boss as a commentator. I also enjoyed the analysis with Taz and Moxley's finisher. 7. 9,999,999
out of 10.
Yeah, man of 1,005 holds. Thanks. It's a good rating to give AEW tonight. It's 7.99999999991.
Repeating.
The caller was clearly a retard.
What else we got? Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Jake in a bikini would bring ratings. What the fuck you talking about? Jake, please dance with Big Dick Johnson in WWE in AU and they would bring in big numbers. Thank you for keeping me feeling level-headed during a difficult time.
You know it, broski. It's the Costanza chiming in there.
It's Costanza, man. Thanks, bro. What's up?
Part of the Banana Army. He wants to go ahead and represent. Dicks out, baby.
Take him out. Man of 1,005 holds. Thanks, man. What's up? Shout out to Soundwave, man.
Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Want some bubbly? Look at this stuff. Oh, a little bit of the bubbly.
That's it.
Jake DeMarco, I love that show. It's awesome. Try Joe, there's a scene where this girl face rides a guy and when she orgasms she squeezes his head and it explodes.
Fucking brutal. It's great. She comes and just squeezes her thighs so hard his head just turns into confetti. It's great.
Is that in the show? Is that what you're
That's
talking
in the
about?
show. Not an exaggeration. You'd love it. I'm
Oh
telling
my
you,
God.
this is right up your alley.
What did Gallo send me the other day? Oh my God. Wait a minute. What? Look at dude. Oh my God, dude. What is this?
Gallo's always sending some crazy shit.
Watch this. This is crazy. The way the white man says it. He sends me this the other day. Check this out. It's like one of those haunted hay rides or something like
just
that.
Eats it.
And this guy's supposed to come out and scare everybody. Oh my
Are you
God.
okay?
You all right? You good?
Oh, no, you're not. You okay? Oh, gosh. Are you okay?
Oh my
Oh,
God.
That sounds bad.
Oh, no, you're not.
That does not sound. Yeah, she answers.
Oh, no, you're not.
It's
She
not.
must see blood because his mask comes up.
It's not good when she answers for him.
You good?
Oh, no, you're not. You okay? Oh, gosh.
Oh.
That's his teeth out.
Yeah, that's his ghost noise. He's fine.
Oh.
Holy hell, mother. Wow. That's
You
crazy.
can see his head hits the end of the hay wagon or whatever it is, the cart there, and mask comes right up too. So he took the brunt of that. Ow.
Oh my God, dude. It's crazy.
I smacked my face in the same way before and broke my nose, and it's brutal. Like that kind of force when you're falling forward and can't stop yourself. Oh, it's awful.
Yeah. That's pretty crazy.
I was running to the bathroom when I was a younger kid and had a bad cold, so I was going to throw up and rush into the bathroom and tripped over the humidifier plug and smashed my face into the toilet. So I had a broken nose, bleeding while vomiting. It was a lovely excursion.
Yeah. That sounds like a horrible time.
Triple fucked. Yeah. Yeah, Pop Claw. You really got to check it out. It's on Amazon Prime. The Boys. Season 2 comes out in September.
Boys.
So. The Boys.
I put out a... me and Troy
You'll
used to
love
say that when we played hockey. Because there was a name of the team called The Boys. I played Torchlight 3 earlier. It's pretty good.
I saw you put the video out, but I didn't get to catch it in time before AEW. So
It's okay.
You said part 1.
Yeah, I got more parts to come, man. You know what pissed me off is I found some mount, and then I got killed, and then I think I lost the mount. I was really mad.
That's always the most
I'm depressed
frustrating,
about
especially
it.
in those type of games where it starts you back so far.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have to go ahead and, retraverse all the terrain you covered.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty ugly.
But you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah. Well, Man, Jake, I think you should go to bed, man. Get some sleep. We did a lot of shit. We recorded a whole podcast, put it up on Patreon today.
Yes,
we did
indeed.
our Fyter Fest.
Great podcast there. And even if you haven't heard our predictions yet, you already watched the show, go check it out because we covered a lot. The predictions is a very brief portion of that podcast. So
yeah, it was very. We really did about 35 minutes on other stuff in the world and everything going on. We talked about the couple with the guns on their front lawn and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
So that's up on Patreon right now. Go check that out. If you're new to Patreon, download the app on your phone. Go over to Patreon and check out your stuff and go check it out, man. I don't know. Cody Rhodes. Look out. Did anybody watch Great American Bash that thought Great American Bash was better? And if you did watch Great American Bash, what did you give Great American Bash in the chat? Very interesting.
Yeah, I am curious. What do people think of NXT tonight? So now next week we know, whoever won tonight obviously will take on Private Party for the AEW World Tag Team titles. So we know Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page will take on Private Party with Matt Hardy next week for night 2 of AEW's Fyter Fest. We'll see FTR, so Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood taking on the Young Bucks, Matt and Nick Jackson. They're going to team up, all 4 of them, and they're going to be taking on, the Butcher and the Blade and the Lucha Brothers. So 8-man tag match there. Then we have Colt Cabana, Brody Lee, and Stu Grayson taking on SoCal Uncensored SCU. We have Nyla Rose taking on, to be announced, Lance Archer versus Joey Janela. A lot of people think that that's going to be a hardcore match. I agree. I concur. And then we, of course, have the main event, Chris Jericho versus the one, the only, Orange, freshly squeezed Cassidy. So I'm excited for that as well.
Wait.
I'm thinking night 2 might be a surprise. It might be the better of the 2 nights, and we thought it was not going to compete.
Yeah. I mean, I thought this was going to be the better night. Now I'm worried that that next week won't be as good though either. And then this all kind of just went down the drain.
Hopefully we're wrong. And then of course, we have good old Carl Anderson teasing everybody by putting up a picture of, obviously Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson together with the Young Bucks. So that was on Instagram or Twitter earlier. I think it was on Twitter. Yes, Twitter. So they put up that picture today at around 2 this afternoon and got the wrestling world, stirring.
Super chat. Whoa. Super chat.
Tessa was in the crowd.
AJ Adams says Tessa was in the crowd.
See, I did not see her. So that's why I said I wasn't sure. You figure they would try and hide her because they didn't acknowledge her on commentary at all. But so then that has to be it. She has to be coming to AEW.
Happy Canada Day. I just didn't see it, man.
Here comes the money.
Love.
Tessa Blanchard can call me the N-word all she wants after I come on her face.
Oh,
that
my
alien
God.
chick Statlander got a fat ole ass hashtag Trump.
Trey Love, thanks for the $13, man. Hey, you go, man. Yeah, Tessa, I don't know. I'm not into her like that. I'm not. I don't know. At least she I guess she could beat me up and smash me. I guess.
I'll let you take my title.
Yeah, take my title off me. Thank you, Trey Love. What's up? I'm telling you though, put Joe Cronin on the ballot.
That's it. Just write you in.
Put me on the ballot. Put Jake, Vice President Jake. We'll take care of this country. We got to go to the phone. 475's on the phone. Hello.
I was just wondering, who do you think's going to win the ratings this week, NXT or AEW?
That's a tough one after last week, but I'm going to say AEW wins. I'm
going opposite with NXT.
Yeah. I'm shocked they lost last week though, so
I was
as well,
too. I
but
was surprised.
I wonder
NXT
I'm going to say that AEW does 850,000 and WWE does 780,000. How about that?
That sounds like a good prediction. I heard NXT is being run by Vince McMahon now too. That's why it hasn't been as.
I think it's been influenced by McMahon quite a bit, but I don't think it's fully run by
that's
him.
been talked about.
Yeah, I think it's influence.
That would suck if NXT got ran by McMahon. Oh god.
Oh no, I mean I don't think it's that bad. I think Road Dogg and Triple H and Shawn Michaels are running the deal, but I think McMahon has a couple things that he's come in and said like, "Hey, check this out or do this. Let's do this." So I think he's made some decisions that aren't theirs, but I think most part, 80% of it's run by Triple H and them.
And I think that was kind of their deal.
Take it over if he just pleases, right? Just because he's who he is, he can just take that as shit over, right?
Yeah, but he's still got to be careful because his son-in-law is still running it, and for him to come in and be a douche, so he's got some kind of boundary there where it's like, well, it's your shit, Triple H, whatever. But I'm sure that he's suggesting things and doing things, yeah.
I didn't watch Great American Bash. Did you hear anything good about it tonight?
No, I haven't. That's one thing is I haven't heard people being like, Joe, you missed this, you missed that. I haven't heard that at all. So, I mean, I watched like a few minutes of it, but nothing where I could tell you how it was going. So I'm going to have to watch it later after this, actually. And, all signs point to it was mediocre like this show, kind of. But they didn't have...
the show wasn't...
But they didn't have Jericho on commentary. That's the difference.
Right, yeah. Jericho on commentary is really good, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, Jericho was so good on commentary, he elevated the show at least a half or a full point.
Yeah, definitely, because without Jericho, the show probably just wouldn't be it. There's been a lot more regular AEW Dynamites than that were a lot better than this.
Yeah, I agree. There's been regular AEW Dynamites that have been better. Yep, I agree. This is slightly above middle of the road for them, I think, maybe. But, yeah, I'm a little bit down, I got to be honest. Like, it's not as good as I thought. I thought I gave this a 6.5 or a 7, which is all right. But I was hyped up for, like, something bigger. But so they did a good job tonight, but it's not what I thought. I would have, I don't know. There's been better Dynamite episodes.
And I thought, I was thinking that part 1 would be better than part 2. So I don't know how part 2 is going to be a Fyter Fest.
Yeah, exactly. I thought the same thing. So now I'm like, all right, next week is going to... Probably next week to me will be will just be 6 out of 10. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not really...
Yeah, I think it's going to be the same because I thought this week had a better match card than for next week's show.
Yeah, I'm worried about next week. So now I'm worried. Good call.
Excellent call. Yeah, you figure Vince would have to be involved since he doesn't lend out main roster wrestlers just to anybody.
Yeah.
So he's going to have some say as they...
Well, it could be Triple H asking, too. Like, hey, yo, can I get Sasha down here? I feel like it's more Triple H.
I'm sure, but I'm saying Vince has to come attached to that, so...
Yeah, but I think that it's more Triple H being like, hey, Vince, I want to bring Sasha down to work with this girl. And so I think it's more that than people think that it's Vince pushing her down there. I think that they've got that backwards. People that think it's Vince sending Sasha down there, I think it's Triple H asking for Sasha. I'd almost bet my fucking asshole on it,
Yeah, no, I'm sure.
But yeah, man, that's what I think, bro. And we'll have to check it out and see what goes on there, man. All right, man.
Yeah, tomorrow night for Out of Nowhere, we're going to talk about Shayna Baszler, what was supposed to go down for WrestleMania, how and why plans changed, and her current WWE status. We're also going to be talking about Otis, plans for him in the briefcase, what was supposed to go down, what changed, and why it changed as well. We're also going to cover our predictions for Week 2 for Fyter Fest, and from there, we'll go ahead and have some more news about people possibly more testing positive for COVID-19. So WWE not in a great way at this point in time. Also, we'll let you know more updates about SummerSlam and the Hall of Fame for the year 2020. So lots to talk about tomorrow night.
You're going in the Hall of Fame.
You're going in the Hall of Fame. I'm inducting you.
Wardlow's going in the Hall of Fame. I don't know. All right, man. See you, Jake. You have a good night, brother.
All righty, everybody. Have a great night. Stay sexy.
Wait, what would
healthy.
You give tonight? What were you giving the rating?
I'm giving tonight a 7. Solid 7.
Ooh, solid 7.
Solid 7.
7-11.
On the dot.
All right, man.
All right. Have a great night.
Good night, baby. Jakey Poo. Good night, brother. I think AEW will win, man. I think AEW will win. That's basically what I think. I think you're right. I think good call. All right, I'm out. Hit the like button if you want. Do whatever. Who gives a fuck?
This is Wardlow from AEW, and you're watching The Joe Cronin Show.
A wrestling podcast with attitude.
How much put does a mud pucker puck if Deborah could fuck fudge?